ओम श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। हरि ओम। सुमुखश्च एकदन्तश्च कपिलो गजकर्णकः लम्बोदरश्च विकटो विघ्नराजो विनायकः धूमकेतुर्गणाध्यक्षः फालचन्द्रो गजाननः वक्रतुण्डः शूर्पकर्णो हेरम्बः स्कन्दपूर्वजः शुक्लाम्बरधरं विष्णुं शशिवर्णं चतुर्भुजं प्रसन्नवदनं ध्यायेत् सर्वविघ्नोपशान्तये यस्य गिरदवक्त्राभ्याः पारिषद्याः परस्सतं विघ्नं विघ्नन्ति सततं विष्णुक्सेनं तमाश्रये। गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुर्साक्षात् परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। सच्चिदानन्दरूपाय कृष्णाय अक्लिष्टकारिणे नमो वेदान्तवेद्याय गुरवे बुद्धिसाक्षिणे कृष्णद्वैपायन व्यासं सर्वभूतहिते रतं वेदाब्जभास्करं वन्दे समाधिनिलयं मुनिं जन्माद्यस्य यतः अन्वयात् इतरतश्च अर्थेषु अभिघ्नस्वराट् तेने ब्रह्महृदायः आदिकवये मुह्यन्ति यत् सूरयः तेजो वारिमृगां यथा विनिमयो यत्र त्रिसर्गो मृषा धाम्ना स्वेन सदा निरस्तकुहकं सत्यं परं धीमहि गर्भः प्रोचितकैतवोऽत्र परमो निर्मत्सराणां सतां वेद्यं वास्तवम् अत्र वस्तु शिवदं तापत्रयोन्मूलनं श्रीमद्भागवते महामुनिकृते किं वा परैरीश्वरः सद्यो हृदि अवरुध्यते अत्र कृतिभिः शुश्रूषुभिः तत्क्षणात् निगमकल्पतरोर्गलितं फलं सुखमुखात् अमृतद्रवसंयुतं पिबत भागवतं रसमालयं मुहुरहो रसिकाः भुवि भावुकाः नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयम् उदीरयेत्। Now, with Bhagavan's faith, let us continue from where we left off yesterday. We came up to slokam number 5 in Adhyayam 31, Skandham number 3. Now, the fetus is in the 6th month, in slokam 5, and we saw how in the 4th month the various limbs got developed, and subsequent to that in the 5th month, the 7 dhatus, the basic constituent elements, that also were formed, including the apertures, the openings, and all that. And then at the end of 6th month, all these things happen, and the fetus is now taking its nutrition from the mother through the placenta and growing in size. In the process, it is lying in that abdominal cavity, the residence of basically stools and urine, and which is the breeding place of all kinds of worms. And it does happen, you know very well chemically what happens there. Now, that is now slokam 5 and then slokam 6. I think slokam 6 we are going to take up today. In 6th, as the fetus is lying down there, the various the worms in that amniotic fluid along with the fetus, they all, because the fetus skin is so soft and tender, and these various organisms are also hungry, so they bite the bite the fetus, and it becomes it's quite painful, quite agonizing, and then it loses its becomes unconscious. Moment after moment it becomes unconscious because of this terrible condition that it is in. That is slokam number 6. Krivibihi shata sarvangaha sau kumaryat pratikshanam murcham apnoti उरुक्लेशः तत्रत्यैः क्षुधितैः मुहुः। कृविभिः क्षतसर्वाङ्गः सौकुमार्यात् प्रतिक्षणं मूर्छाम् आप्नोति उरुक्लेशः तत्रत्यैः क्षुधितैः मुहुः। कृविभिः शतसर्वाङ्गः सौकुमार्यात् प्रतिक्षणम् मूर्छाम् आप्नोति उरुक्लेशः तत्रत्यै क्षुधितै मुहुः. While the fetus is lying down there, tatratyaihi, in that place, in that abdomen, that cavity in which the fetus is lying, in that place, kshutitaihi krimibihi, kshutitaihi, hungry, and krimibihi, the various organisms that are there. I mean, the worms is the way it's described in English, but need not be worms, the way we think of it, but organisms. The chemical organisms that are definitely hungry, which means they want to live also. So, Shutitaihi, Krimibihi, by those various organisms, the worms, that are lying there, Pratikshanam, repeatedly, every kshanam, repeatedly, Saukumaryat, because the fetus skin is so soft and so tender. Because of that, Shata Sarvangaha. Shata means being bitten. Sarvangaha, all over the body. Then because of that, the Shata, there is such a soft skin and it being bitten. Now when you're hard and skin is hard and all that, something bites you, you don't feel that pain that much. But it's so soft and they get bitten all over. Shata Sarvangaha, all over. Uruklesaha, because of that, tremendous pain and agony the fetus experiences. Muhuhu, again and again, repeatedly. Murcham apnoti, murcham, it becomes unconscious, loses consciousness. Okay, repeatedly, being bitten by these various organisms. Krimibihi shata sarvangaha saukumaryat pratikshanam murcham apnoti uruklesaha tatratyaihi chuditaihi buhu. Number 7. Kat tikshna ushna lavana ruksha amla adibihi ulbanaihi matruh muktaihi upasprushtaha sarvanga uttita vedanaha. My God, just imagine, we're not aware of what happens inside the womb, how much the fetus is suffering already. Both the birth, taking the jivan, entering the body, taking an embodiment, as well as leaving the embodiment, both the birth and the death are very miserable. We don't know. We saw earlier what Kapila Bhagavan told us when we die and the jivan, with the feeling of ahankaram and all that moves on, yatana deham, we saw that how much difficulties and then repeated various other births it has to take before it could become being born as a human being. Now, when being born as a human being inside mother's womb, it goes through tremendous agony, tremendous, unbelievable, and we don't know that. Okay. Now, here this talks about the types of food the mother takes. While the fetus is there being bitten by these various organisms and suffering already, what type of food does the mother take? And she sometimes take bitter food, sometimes very pungent, with lots of chilies in it, sometimes hot, right? And it could be hot coffee or whatever she takes, and then sometimes salty, and then sometimes very dry food she takes, and sometimes sour. So all these types of various foods. Kut means bitter. Tikshna means very pungent, quite lots of chilies in it. Ushna, of course, hot, temperature hot. Lavana means very salty. And ruksha means dry, very dry. And amla is sour, as you know. Adibihi, like these. Now, these are all okay. So a certain amount is okay with the proper balance and all that. But what happens is, Vulbhanaihi, excessive, tremendous, either too hot, too chilly, too salty, whatever it is, Vulbhanaihi, Matra, Muktaihi, the food eaten by the mother, Muktaihi, the because of that, the fetus upasprushtaha, it gets affected. It affects the fetus, poor fetus, and it affects sarva angaha, all through its body that is being formed. The arms, the legs, the nose, the eyes, the ears, everything is being formed, and the stomach. So many things are being formed, right? And including the various openings and all that. Everything is now impacted, affected by that. And in which way is it affected? Vedanaha uttita, causing pain all over the body. So the fetus is lying there, now becomes aware of it's associating itself with the body now, with the various 7 dhatus that we saw. It now begins to feel not only hunger and thirst, but also tremendous pain. It's a painful, miserable existence inside mother's womb. Katu, Tikshna, Ushna, Lavana, Ruksha, Amla, Adibihi, Matra, Bhuktaihi, Upasprushtaha, Sarvangaha, Uttita, Vedanaha. Now, so let us see what else happens to the fetus. Slokam number 8. Now, here, it is like a cage. It's even tighter than a cage, the mother's womb. The fetus cannot really move around much. And while if you are bitten by something, and if you are caused some pain in some part of the body, we try to relieve it, we move and all that, but the fetus is not even able to do it. Unlike the bird in a cage can at least flutter around and move around. But the fetus is so tight, such a tight space it is. It cannot even move around. So how can it be peaceful in this situation? Just imagine, how much the physical, the difficulties we talk of sufferings, right? And this is what happens inside the mother's womb. So, ulbena samvritaha. No, number 8 we have to go, right? I think I covered 8, so I'm going to number 9. I have to take being bound in this tight womb, surrounded by the amniotic fluid, but the womb itself is surrounded on the outside by what? By intestines. And the fetus, like we saw earlier, it tries to move to the right side. We saw that, right? So it remains kind of trying to lie on one side, which is basically the right side. And how is it lying in that constricted space? And its head is turned towards the belly, and this back and neck are arched in the form of a bow. This is how it is lying. Now, this is what Bhagavatam says, even before all these ultrasonics and all came, how the fetus is lying in the womb. This is what we see in our ultrasonic images nowadays. Okay? That's what it says. It's lying down like this. Vilvena samvrutaha tasmin natraischa bhagihi avrutaha aste krutva sthiraha kukshav bhrigna prishta sthira udaraha. What a miserable condition. Vulbena samvrutaha tasmin natraihi cha bhagihi avrutaha aste krutva sthiraha kukshav bhrigna prishta sthira udaraha. Ulbena samvrta tasmin natraischa bhagihi avrutaha aste krutva sthiraha kukshav bhrigna prishta sthira udaraha. Now, Ulbena samvrtaha, enclosed by the amniotic, the womb, the fluid in that little bag. Tasmin, in that place, and not only tasmin, then atraihi cha, then vastaihi cha avrataha. So the fetus is now enclosed in this little bag. And in that place, the bag is also enclosed by what? By the intestines. Atraihi means intestines. Okay, outside bhagihi, outside, by enclosed by the intestines. Then aste, the fetus is lying there. How is it lying? Krutva siraha kukshau. Siraha kukshau krutva. Siraha, its head. Kukshau, towards the belly. And krutva, doing that, bending its head towards its belly. And also, bhugna means bhugna, prishta, sira, sira dharaha. Siraha, the sira udaraha, siraha dharaha. So then also the head is bent towards the belly. Siraha kukshau krutva. Then prishta, sira dharaha, prishta, the back. Then sira dharaha means the head support. What is the head support? That is the neck. So the neck, bhugna, is bent. It is bent in the form of a bow, an arch. The head is bent towards the belly. Because the head is bent towards the belly, the neck and the back are bent like in the form of an arch. In that shape, the fetus are stay. It is lying there. Tasmin, in that place, Uddena Samvrataha, surrounded in this bag we call the womb, which is nothing but a bag of amniotic fluid with lots of living organisms in it that is biting the fetus, causing it tremendous pain. The mother causes tremendous pain all over the body with the excessive tasty food that she takes. And the bag womb itself is externally surrounded by the mother's intestines. Ulbena samvritaha tasmin atraihi cha bahihi avritaha aste krutva siraha kukshau bhugna prishta sira dharaha. Number 9. Okay, it's already in tremendous pain. Let us see what happened. Now, when it is lying like this, being bitten all over, and the body is in tremendous pain, and just imagine you and I today doing the yoga pose, okay, if you're able to do it. Bend our head towards our belly and keep our back and neck bent like an arch. If I'm able to do it, fine. How long can I stay in that position? Just imagine for a second. And then I want to free myself up. Isn't it? That's a natural tendency. But the fetus is not able to even do that. It's not even able to do that, unlike a bird in a cage. And when it is like that, tremendous pain all over, and there's no relief for the pain, how can the fetus have peace of mind? Think. Akalpaha swa anga chesthayam sakunta iva panjare tatra labdha smrutihi daivatma karma. That's right. Daivatma karma. Janma satodbhavam. Smaranne dirgha manuchvasam. Dirgham anuchvasam. Sarma kim nama vindate. Is what Kapila Bhagavan says so beautifully here. Akalpaha means not able to. Akalpaha swa anga chesthayam sakunta iva panjare tatra labdha smrutihi daivatma karma janma sata udbhavam smaran dirgham anuchvasam sarma kim nama vindate. Akalpaha swanga chesthayam sakunta iva panjare tatra labdha smriti daivatma karma janma satodbhavam smaran dirgham anuchvasam sarma kim nama vindate. Now, lying down like this, swa anga, its own limbs, say chesthayam, to move. Akalpaha, not able to. Unable to move its own limbs, which are in tremendous pain already. Sakunta iva panjare. Panjare means a cage. And Sakunta is it's a bird. Sakunta iva panjare. Here, like the bird in a cage. That's what it means. But the way we have to understand it is, even a bird in a cage can flutter and move around, unlike a bird in a cage. The fetus is akalpaha, unable to swala cheshtayam. Number one, then lying down like this, tatra. See, remember, all these are happening in the 6th month, calculated from the time of conception, not from the time of formation of zygote, the buddham that we saw. That is about 10-day difference there, which is what the modern science does. But our Shastras, they begin at the time of conception. Very important, okay? So there is a difference of about half a month, okay, 10 to 14 days, the calculation. So this is happening towards the end of the 6th month, which in modern calculation will be about 5.5 months or so. Now, so Tatra, lying down like this there, then what happened? Daivatma karma janma sata udbhavam smriti labdha. This is so beautiful. Lying down like this. See, when we are in tremendous pain, we are in difficulties, we think of Bhagavan. Isn't it? That is very common. That is the reason Bhagavan gives us pain and sufferings, in order for us to remind us to think of him at least at that time. If everything goes my way, I would not be thinking of Bhagavan. I will put him on hold. So here the fetus is in tremendous pain. And Daivatma, because the Daivat Atma Karma Janma Sata Udbhava. Let me break it like that. Daivat, with the grace of Bhagavan. Bhagavan gives us the grace of memory. He also gives us the grace of forgetfulness. Okay? Both are there. But lying there as a fetus, Daivatma, Daivate, with grace of Bhagavan, Janma Sata Udbhavam, 100 births, materializing, originating in 100 births, Atma Karma, whatever I did, now, Smriti Labdha, I get the memory of that with Bhagavan's grace. So literal translation is, with the grace of Bhagavan, lying down like this, in tremendous pain, not being able to move my own limbs, that are being continuously in pain and being bitten by the living organisms all around, with the grace of Bhagavan, the memory of all the actions I did in 100 births are obtained, is given to me. All those things come back to me. Now, smaranne, I remember that. So, smruti, labdha. So, having gained the memory, smruti labdha means getting the memory. Now, once I get the memory, then smaranne, I remember, I did this, I remember that now. Now, how long do I remember this? Dirgham, for a long time, continually remembering all the things I did. There's no break, there's nothing else to do. Other than falling unconscious and all that, nothing else to do. So, dirgham smaranne, for a long time I remember. And because of that, I recollect. I go through all the actions I did in 100 births. Just imagine. Just even the very thought itself is so painful to us. Because of that, anuchvasam, I sigh. Oh my God, I did this, and repenting, not feeling pitiable, but so helplessly, oh my God, I did this, And because of that, sarma kim nama vindate. Sarma means peace of mind. Okay? Nama means at that point, remembering like this. If I remember all the bad things I did in life, how can I be peaceful? Think for a second, even now. So, Nama means then, remembering like this, Sharma, peace of mind. Kim vindate, how can it be obtained? not only is it physically in pain, mentally also it is in pain, tremendous suffering. Akalpaha swanga chesthayam sakunta iva panjare tatra labdha smriti daiva atmakarma janma sato bhavam smaranne dirgham anuchvasam sarma kim nama vindate. Number 10. With Swami's grace, we'll take up to 11 today. So, few extra minutes, please stay. Now this is what it is. Now the 7th month coming now. Okay. Now consciousness is there. Along with consciousness comes pain. Consciousness means what? Being aware of the body. Okay. So then that has happened now in 6th month. Along with the consciousness, pain, hunger, thirst, all these things are being felt. Now 7th month. Now what is happening? The design, Bhagavan's nature, inside the womb, the Garbhapai is becoming facile for the oncoming delivery. Okay? Not in the 7th month, the delivery is not there, but in preparation for that. So it is loosening up. Loosening is the wrong word, but it becomes facile. So in that process, what happens? Inside the Garbhapai, there is wind blowing around. Wind means there are various forces that are moving things around. So that moves the fetus also. We have seen this in ultrasonic very easily. With all the fetus has changed position. All these things, we have seen. All your mothers know that. This is what happens. How does it change position? Because of this, what is called air. The thing flows, and in preparation for that, the fetus also keeps being tossed about, to put it another way. Along with it being tossed about in what way? I remember inside the Garbhapai, we also have living organisms in the amniotic fluid. And those organisms also get tossed around. Like that, the fetus gets tossed around in the 7th month. And here it's a very beautiful word that's used. I'll come to that. So, Arabhya Saptamat Masat Labdha Bodhaha Api Vepitaha Naika Na Ekatra Aste. Yeah. Na Ekatra Aste Sutivatehi Vishta Bhugu Iva Sodaraha. Arabhya Saptamat Masat Labdha Bodhaha Api Vepitaha Na ekatra aste sutivatehi vishtaha bhuhu iva sodaraha. So arabhya saptamat masat. Saptamat masat arabhya, in the beginning of the 7th month. Labdha bodhaha. Bodhaha labdha. Bodhaha buddhi, which means in this case it's consciousness, awareness, obtaining that. Okay? And api, even though it has now got consciousness in the 7th month, vepitaha, it is being tossed around out of control. By what? Okay, we will see that. Now, being tossed around, and so by suti vatehi. Vata means wind, okay? And Vatatmaja we say, right, for Hanuman. So Vata means the wind. So the Suti means in preparation for the childbirth. So the winds associated with that, the various forces that happens inside. Okay, it's not like a fan blowing, don't get me wrong, but there are forces there within that. And because of that, the child gets tossed around, Vepitaha, by that. How is it done? And it's tossed around. Na ekatra aste. Ekatra aste na. Ekatra, in one place. Aste, staying. Na, not. So it is not staying in one place. Being tossed around. Na ekatra aste, not staying in one place. Which you very well know, we all know from the ultrasonic images of fetus. We see that, in different positions, in different places and all that, okay? And so that's what happens. And it's being tossed around by the Suti Vataihi. How, along with Vishtabhuhu, the chemical organisms, along with that, and Sodaraha. See, Sodaraha, Vishtabhuhu. Saha, Udaraha. Udaraha means Saha, Udaraha means born along with. Okay, so it's like a brother, sister, we call it, right? That is Sahodaran, we say in Tamil, right? Some colloquially, that is Sodaram. Sa Udaraha, in the same stomach, in the same mother's womb, being born. What else is born there? All these chemical organisms, Vishtabhuhu, what we call as worms, organisms. They're also its own brothers. And Eva, like that, they're also getting tossed around, like that the fetus also gets tossed around. The important thing is, it's an amazing lesson. Even a living organism, a worm, a bacteria, or whatever we want to call it, that also is my brother. So this is the meaning here, okay? Not only another human being, all the beings in the world, we are related. So that's what Sodaraha, it's a beautiful word. Arabhya Saptamatmatat Labdha Bodhaha Api Vekitaha Naikatraste Suti Vatehi Vishtabhuhu Ida Sodaraha. Okay, now the fetus is not able to remain in one place. Head is bent towards the belly, and the neck and back are arched like a bow, being bitten all over with the addition to the food and all that, and being tossed around. There's no physical peace, there's no mental peace. What do you do at this time? Same thing that happens to us right now. Fetus does the same thing. It starts praying to Bhagavan. Now, the only difference between the fetus prayer and my prayer today, the fetus remembers everything it did for the hundreds of births. What a painful memory it is. Amazing. So naturally, it knows it's going to be born again, taking another body. And it tells Swami, please, don't. No, I'm not interested. Please, I will forget you. The moment I take birth in this new body, I will forget you. I don't want to forget you. I want to be with you all the time. That's a prayer it starts. So number 11. Natamanaha rishihi bhikaha saptavagrihi kritanjalihi stuvita tam viklavaya vachayena udare arpitaha. And bhikaha saptabandrihi. Right, that's what I said. Natamanaha rishihi bhikaha saptabandrihi krita anjalihi stuvita tam viklavaya vacha yena udare arpitaha. Natamanaha rishibhitaha saptavadrikritanjalihi stuvita tam viklavaya vacha yena udare arpitaha. Now, this Rishihi, here Rishi means not the way we understand. It's a living consciousness in the body, awareness. Okay? That is Bhitaha, now frightened, afraid. The fear comes because of the feeling of separation from Bhagavan. And it also comes from association with the body. This ahamkaram has come, right? The association of the body means with the various 7 dhatus that go to build the body. We saw that earlier. So associating itself with that, because that's where the consciousness is. Consciousness, oh my God, I am this body and all this pain and pressure and all this. So because of that, bhitaha, being frightened. Okay? Then, Sapta Vadrihi, Sapta 7th Vadrihi, the 7 dhatus that we saw earlier. What does it do? It natamanaha krita anjalihi. Krita anjalihi natamanaha. The krita anjali means, it's a Tamil, we say kaikupi, right? Which means with folded hands. Now you look at a ultrasonic image, how do you see the baby, the fetus's hand, right? They're all like a namaste only. The prayer. It's a beautiful thing that you can see. And at the time it is Natamanaha. It is praying so sincerely and so in a very appealing, in a beseeching manner. It prays. Stuvita, it starts worshipping. Natamanaha, Stuvita. Natamanaha is the adverb, in a beseechingly, sincerely, lovingly, out of Anyata Sharanam Nasti, Tvameva Sharanam Mama, with that feeling. Natamanaha, then Stuvita, it prays. And when it prays with Viklavaya Vacha. Now, the Viklavaya Vacha means words. Obviously, the fetus cannot speak physically, but mentally it can. Remember, you can recite Gayatri Mantra mentally without even uttering the words, right? So, please remember, the mind is always speaking to us. And when you get a silent mind, we achieved it. So the mind is not speaking. Viklavaya in a very hesitating, in a diffident, in a supportless manner. When I have no other support, what do I do? So Viklavaya Vacha. Then to whom does it worship? Stuvita. Come. To whom? Yena. By whom? Udare arpitaha. The fetus has been put in the womb. That divinity. By Punarapi Jananam, Punarapi Maranam. Punarapi Jatare, Janani Sayanam, something like that it comes, right? In Bhajagovinda. So, like that, but by whom it has been placed in the womb, come to him. Viklavaya Vacha, in a very diffident, supportless, complete, surrendering manner. Natamanaha Stuvita. It beseeches, prays in a very appealing manner. It starts worshipping that entity, that Bhagavan, by whom the fetus has been placed in the womb. Natamanaha Rishihi Bhitaha Taptavadrihi Kritanjalihi Stuvita Tam Viklavaya Vacha Yena Udare Arpitaha. Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Samastalokaha Sukhino Bhavantu. Samastalokaha Sukhino Bhavantu. Samastalokaha Sukhino Bhavantu. Om Sante Sante Sante. Harihi Om.